What's up, everyone? So I'm super excited because today I'm actually going to show you the actual experience of going to the Mayo Clinic. I have a ton of clips from the actual Mayo Clinic itself. I made a little video montage of it. I talk a bit about how I got there, my flight there, how I got from the airport to the Mayo Clinic, and hopefully this will give you an insight into, just overall what the Mayo Clinic is like and just how great of a place it is. And so in this video, I'll introduce it a bit. I'll talk about how I got there, and then there's a nice little montage. And after that, I'll be back. You'll see this face again. And I'm just going to talk a bit about the interview process at Mayo Clinic. And I'll give you a bit more information about the school. And hopefully, I'll make an entire other video that kind of discusses the specific unique aspects of the Mayo Clinic. But just for now, this is just my experience. Hope you guys enjoy. Here I am, right at the airport. Check it out. All right, starting my second journey. This is gonna be a really long road trip. So I started at Mayo Clinic, and then I'll be headed to Case Western, and then topping it off with UCSD. So right now, it's like 6 a.m. I'm about to start boarding. So the first plane, it's gonna go to Denver first, and then it's gonna drop me off at Rochester. Definitely excited. I got my suit. I have a big ass bag in the back. I can't show you guys. I had water in my bag, so they actually made me take it out. And I actually had a really nice water bottle, so I would have had to throw it away. But the dude was really nice since we got here super early, and I didn't have to throw it away. But yeah, make sure you have water emptied out. There's also dogs like sniffing around. There was like a dog sniffing my bag. So it was actually the first time I saw a dog here, and it was really freaky. I think at 6, flight takes off at 6:30 a.m. Just to put this all in context, I'm in Minneapolis right now. Mayo Clinic's in Rochester, which is about 80 miles away. So I actually have to take a shuttle. But yeah, overall the weather's super nice right now. It's pretty cold, probably like 65, 70 degrees, but it's a bit chilly. I'm waiting for an Uber right now. Gonna get dropped off at the shuttle stop. And once I'm there, it'll be fun to figure out how to get to Rochester. But yeah, for anyone wanting to know how to get to Rochester from Minneapolis, it took me a long time to figure that out. There's a shuttle that connects. It's called Go Rochester. There's a Go Rochester shuttle. It takes about 80 to 100 minutes. It's $26 one way, 52 round trip, and you can get a discount if you're going to Mayo Clinic. So remember that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm waiting for my Uber. It's been a slow day, but yeah, gonna head over now. Should be interesting.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, here I'm at Mayo Clinic. It was a good bus ride, about 90 minutes. Somehow got it here. Dude, this place is insane. This is like just the front. They have like 6, 7 attached buildings. Pretty much, Rochester has a population of 100,000 people, and like 30,000 of them work here. So 30% of the population. And they have an overall employee staff of 60,000 people. So 60,000 people covered by like all of this. There's a lot more to it, you can only imagine. It's crazy. Look at this. There's a garden behind me. This is literally the best hospital in the nation right now. Crazy stuff. It's gonna be exciting. And I'm back. How fantastic is that? The place was phenomenal, hands down one of the greatest medical schools I have ever seen in my life. And just so you know, I'm not actually going to be going to Mayo Medical School, so don't think that anything I'm saying now has any bearing on my decision. But obviously you saw it. Mayo Medical School is a great place. It looks phenomenal. My interview experience there was also very, very great. But for now, let me just give you some insight into what Mayo is. I'm going to be talking strictly stuff that you can only know once you go there, because I know there are a lot of things out there that will tell you the average GPA, average MCAT, so I'm not going to talk about that. I don't think that's useful. But I do know that when I was applying, one of the things that I found the most difficult was learning about the school in a way that I can actually get an insight into what the school is like. I was having such a hard time with that. So I went to YouTube, I couldn't find anything. And now here I am. You see my experience, and I was there, so I'm trying to make this video so you can kind of get that behind the scenes look. All right, so all of this is research I did on Mayo Med School. I'm going to try to do it for every other school I went to as well, and hopefully this helps you as you're prepping for your interview or whatever you may be doing at Mayo. The first thing I'm going to talk about is that Mayo is a tertiary care center. What does that mean? Well, primary care, as many of you know, is like when you go see your doctor. Primary care is primary care. Secondary care is when the case is really unique and needs to be referred up to a specialist. And tertiary care is when it gets even further referred up. And the point here is, because Mayo is a tertiary care clinic, they see a lot of unique cases because it's such a renowned hospital. I think in the vlog I mentioned it, it's one of the best hospitals in the nation. It is, and because of that, they see a lot of unique cases, which is referred exclusively as tertiary care, which means it's been referred up multiple times. As you already saw, they have a really great hospital, really pretty hospital. They have a lot of buildings. I think most of the footage I had was only from one building. Another aspect of Mayo that they take a lot of pride in is that the needs of the patient come first. And I know that that might seem kind of common in medicine, but Mayo really takes that to heart, which is primarily why they're ranked so highly. They really do put the needs of the patient first, and that's kind of as when I was there for the interview, that's kind of something that the dean said is kind of embedded within anyone who ends up going to Mayo. More about the actual interview process. Mayo has 2 one-on-one interviews. So you guys may be familiar with just traditional interviews. It's just like this. Let's say I'm someone who's interviewing you. We'd be sitting face to face and we just talk about stuff. Something like, tell me about yourself, stuff like that. It's two one-on-one interviews. Each of them lasts for about 30 minutes. So each interview is about 30 minutes, and both of them are with members of the admissions committee, aka the people responsible for getting you into the school. But again, this can change. This is just based on my experience and my research, but this is not something that may hold true in the future. Each interview is about 30 minutes long, plus or minus. And just some brief numbers, in case you don't already know. Mayo is one of the, I'd say, most small medical schools because they get over 4,600 applications in general. They send out about 300 interviews. What that means is 300 people out of the 4,600 are asked to come to the school and interview, and of those 300, about 50 end up matriculating. And what I mean by matriculate, it's a big word. It means that they end up being part of the class that ends up being Mayo Med School class of, etc. Because they have they actually have probably the smallest class size of any med school. 50 students is super small. That means they have a very tight-knit community. Because of that, and because they have such a small class, the school is huge, but this class is small, they end up giving a lot of aid to a lot of students, which obviously comes to your benefit if you're a student there. So you get a lot of financial assistance. Let's see. I made some notes. Let's see. The last 2 I want to talk about are the 2 other benefits. Rochester is a very suburban town. Again, you can't get that from just looking it up. When you go there, you'll start seeing it's not a very it's not New York, and it's also not like San Francisco. It's a very neighborhood friendly town. So if you're into that, that's awesome. If you're not, something to take into consideration. And the last thing about Mayo is, just by being there, you can tell that you're going to make some amazing connections. And that's something that I think cannot be stressed enough. Because you're not only going to med school, you're going to try to foster relationships. And you see a lot of brilliant people there. You'll meet a lot of brilliant people. So I thought Mayo was also something that capitalized on that aspect. And I think that's something you should take into consideration as well. So hopefully this kind of, it's a vlog-ish, but it's also an informative video, helps you in your process of applying. And if you're not even applying, you just wanted to learn more about the school, hopefully this kind of tells you about the school and why they're as great as they are. If you have any more questions for me, let me know. I'll be trying to do this hopefully for more schools in the future, because again, as I told you, this was something I struggled with, and now I wanted to kind of fill that niche. So yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. You want to check out any of my other videos, there's going to be one right here. Another link to one of my videos right here. And another video right here. Why not? I'll put one video right over here. And last but not least, If you want to subscribe to this channel, really appreciate it because I'm still an early YouTuber trying to get it down. But a subscription button should be right over here. So please subscribe. Cool. Thanks. See you guys in the next one. Hope you find these videos helpful.